My name's Rob Klassen. I'm a professor of operations management here at the Ivey Business School, and I also hold the Magna International Chair in Business Administration. My research is looking at net zero, and this really explores how companies are dealing with a very difficult transition as they seek to reduce carbon dioxide emissions as well as other greenhouse gases from their firm, their supply chain, and their customers. In response to many of these pressures, firms are now starting to make commitments to move to net zero by 2050. It really has implications for the company's competitiveness when they compare themselves both domestically as well as internationally. It also requires immediate action now, despite that apparent long time frame. They need to have a dramatic reduction by the time they get to 2030. We also have investors, customers, and suppliers asking firms how they're going to achieve this. And as well, you can think about the long-term competitiveness that the firm is facing as they make these changes. All of this implies there's a lot of risk, and firms are focusing on the risks associated with net zero. But as we think more deeply and more broadly, there's also an enormous amount of opportunity here. Opportunity in terms of servicing new markets, opportunities in terms of servicing new customers, and also improving and reshaping the business model that the firm is using. Stepping back, our research has identified 4 overarching questions that managers really need to consider as they make commitments and then begin to plan and build strategy to deliver against those commitments. The first really focuses on rationale. Why is your firm pursuing net zero? That will guide much of the subsequent decision-making that needs to happen as well. The second is decision-making and accountability. What process do you plan to use, and who will decide what action needs to be taken? Third is partnerships. We need to explore new partnerships with suppliers in novel areas to really understand what new business opportunities exist and ultimately how we can leverage those opportunities to grow the firm. The last is innovation. I've talked about risk before, but really innovation is the enormous opportunity that allows us to capture new markets and think about redesigning the business model for a net zero world. Overall, we see a lot of challenge as senior managers try to address this idea of net zero and move forward. But if we think about the decisions and questions that are being asked now, it ultimately can lay the groundwork for significant progress in the coming years.